Why is the sky blue? You know, that's one of the most common questions that we humans ask. And who can blame us, right? All you have to do is open your eyes, look up, and let yourself wonder, how on earth did it get that tint? We humans are fascinated by the unknown. We're hardwired to find patterns in our world, to be curious about our own existence, and most crucially, to be motivated to find answers when a particular question piques our interest. I love science. It's a unique human endeavor, and when it's done right, it's free from political bias, from financial pressure, from cultural judgment, and the restriction of time. Science is the purest quest for knowledge. So, why is it that when science answers some of our deepest, burning questions, it largely goes unnoticed? You know, there's 1.8 million scientific papers published every single year. That's 1.8 million questions being answered, built upon, explored. But did you know that 50% of all scientific papers are only ever read by the person who wrote them and the person that published them? Why are we so engaged with the great unknown, but not, surely, the even greater known? Science is missing two key ingredients when it comes to sharing the world's swathes of knowledge: openness and communication. So let me start with openness. I was really intrigued to find out why the sky was blue. So, like any millennial in 2016, Googled it. And I found hundreds and hundreds of links telling me about this fascinating phenomenon called Rayleigh scattering. But I wanted to find the original. I wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. I didn't want any paraphrased Wikipedia article. So you can imagine my sheer disappointment that when I finally found the article, written by Mr. John Strutt, or the third Baron Rayleigh, published in 1871, I was greeted with this. A paywall to find out why the sky's blue. It's a sad truth that we have to pay to access 80% of all scientific knowledge. You know, it couldn't be more different in the tech industry. Developers all over the world publish all their code online. And I mean, this is code that could have taken them days, weeks, months, even years to perfect. And not only do they put it online, they actively promote other people taking that code, building upon the code, finding new uses for the code, and sharing it back with the community. IBM built this brilliant thing called Watson. It's basically a way for computers to read text or hear speech, understand that knowledge in context, analyze unfathomable amounts of information so that when you ask it a question, it can give you an answer. IBM loved questions so much, they built a machine to help them answer them. But did IBM keep it to themselves? No, they put it online. They opened it up for all to use. And now Watson, the question-answering machine, is being used all over the world to find new cures for disease, to analyze financial risk, to give you that one-up when you're playing fantasy football. The thing is, though, Watson only works when you feed it millions and millions of knowns. We could do so much more if all of that 80% of our scientific knowns was open to all. But let me talk about communication. So I finally got my hands on this Rayleigh article. But as you can expect for something that was published in 1871, pages and pages of text, written in old speak, lots of jargon, erring on the side of perfect information as opposed to clarity, wasn't the simplest of reads. You know, nowadays, our attention spans are so short. We're used to consuming information not just through text, but through video, through audio, through in-person and virtual, immersive, emotional experience. It's 2016. We can convey whatever we want, however we want. But what if I told you the way we communicate our scientific knowledge hasn't changed since 1871? This is a paper that was written in 1997. It contributed to the invention of the blue LED, and it won its writers a Nobel Prize in Physics in 2014. You see, the thing was, red and green LEDs had already been sorted out, but blue, scientists couldn't quite get their hands on it. And the importance, you take red, green, and blue, put it together, and you get a white LED. And it forms the basis of all of our smartphones. But this is 1997, right? They didn't know how to design then, right? This paper was published in 2016, this year. I mean, they look exactly the same. The only difference is the font. But design isn't my worry. My worry is that I have absolutely no idea what this paper is about. I mean, how can anyone outside of the immediate scientific field be expected to take that knowledge and go on and do something with it? I'm willing to bet that there are other uses for blue LEDs, and that the 2016 paper means something pretty substantial. But how can we expect the lateral thinkers, the people that probably aren't scientists, to be able to gain that knowledge, go on and do something when they can't even read the paper? Wouldn't it be awesome if all our scientific knowns were communicated to all? But why does it even matter that we care about the known? Shouldn't we just marvel in the delight and wonder that a question affords us? For me, knowledge isn't about getting to an end goal. It's not about gathering all the information about a particular topic. Knowing something new doesn't tick a box. It opens a door. When positioned right, knowledge can bring new ideas, new questions, new uses, and new solutions. So, why is the sky blue? The sky is blue because of Rayleigh scattering. Basically, waves of light, all colors of light, collide with all the molecules in the air that you can find in sky. Blue, though, is scattered way more than other colors because its wavelength is really short, unlike something like red. Where else can you find Rayleigh scattering? You can find Rayleigh scattering in a thing called aerogel. It looks just like a slab of sky, right? But what's interesting is it's not air molecules, it's silica molecules, but you get the exact same blue color. Beautiful, right? What's aerogel? Well, aerogel is actually one of the world's best insulators, and if you were to install it in houses, maybe in the cracks between the windowsills or the space between the walls, you could save hundreds of pounds on your heating. And what about the environment, right? How do you make aerogel? Could aerogel be made for cheaper? Could aerogel keep someone warm? Could aerogel keep out the heat? Could aerogel save someone's life? Where can I get my hands on aerogel? Knowledge breeds solutions. And in our complex world, full of challenges and issues, there are so many problems just waiting to be solved. Imagine what we could do if everyone had access, both physically and mentally, to all scientific knowledge. We need to stop venerating only the great unknown. And instead, let's give life to the power, the wonder, and the sheer potential of our great knowns. Thank you.